Hello, people. Brady, Charlie, Garriet. We are here again for another live episode of, RDP, whatever we're calling it. What is it now?
It's the VE Squadcast.
VE Squadcast. Sorry, man. I still got it listed as RDP ideas in here. So rest in peace. So let's stop the presses real quick, guys. There is a new mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, and his name is Glenn Jacobs. I have no idea how he got away with this when he survived. You know, for one, the guy survived his house getting burnt down as a small child by his brother, the Undertaker.
Very true.
Parents both died. He had to overcome his own surrogate father, Paul Bearer, trying to murder him a few times. And also, how is he not in prison? He set JR on fire.
He set a lot of people on fire, Brady.
And he electrocuted.
The Attitude Era was a very hot time.
And he electrocuted Shane McMahon's testicles. How is this guy mayor, Garrett?
I'm calling the police. You used a bad word. All right. No, Kane is mayor because anybody can be a politician now.
Dude, Glenn Jacobs is a smart guy.
No, actually, I think he's probably qualified for the job.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know of a lot of people, and honestly, right next to me in the town of Longwood, Florida, the city commissioner is Matt Morgan, who a lot of people will remember. Yeah, so he's the city commissioner. I was driving by him on my way to work a bunch of times this past year, and I don't know. So I think in WWE, as far as business smarts, like a lot of the wrestlers that were around during that time, they really have to be their own, agents and stuff like that. They have to know how to run a show. A lot of these wrestlers know how to put together the ring and they have to know every aspect of the show. And that naturally just, helps you out intelligence-wise.
One thing I will also say is that I think that there's an element of, because if you cut promos in front of a live audience of like 20,000 people or even more, whatever attendance is, you know what I mean? Then I think that gives you an air of public speaking knowledge that most people going into that job wouldn't have.
Yeah. Charlie, what do you think about Kane? Kane the mayor.
Yeah, man, good for him. Able to do something in life after wrestling. I mean, we know the troubles that some other people go through, so good for Kane. Glenn Jacobs, his name?
Glenn Jacobs, yeah. Glenn Jacobs.
Good for him, man,
And if you ever look up, like Glenn Jacobs' politics interview or something like that, he actually has some really, really great ideas. Like, I remember seeing this 5, 6, 7 years ago on YouTube, and I was like, wow, this guy's really intelligent. Also, look, I think this is the first time I've worn a wrestling shirt on the podcast. Rocking my Young Bucks shirt unintentionally. And then, guys, it's time to cry again.
Breaking news.
But maybe not. John Cena and Nikki Bella have officially split up again.
God damn it!
However, Charlie, they were spotted together today after announcing that they were split up yesterday.
Thank God, man. You know what? I hope Cena's still clapping the cheeks because that's my dog.
Dude!
Dude, Melissa's in the chat right now.
Dude, Charlie. Okay. So just as a recap, okay, guys, we haven't been mentioning it every podcast. We've been talking about it beforehand, but sometimes we choose not to talk about the Cena and Nikki stuff. I'll give you a recap, okay? So obviously they were single. They're both previously married. Then they were both divorced. And then they got together and broke up and then got back together and then got engaged and then broke up and then got back together and broke up, but then we're seen together, and that's where we are so far. And this has all happened within the past 2 years or so.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't know what's going on with them. It's weird, though. All right. In other news, kind of not really, I guess it is news. Aleister Black underwent surgery, Garrett?
Really?
Yeah, so he sustained a groin injury, I guess, and is potentially not going to be at the next NXT TakeOver.
What's JoJo doing down in NXT?
All right, then. All right, yeah. So getting those massive groin injuries from those thick hips. Yeah. I mean, you know,
thick.
Triple C.
Guys.
Charade getting on the top floor in the high rent district. Here he goes, crossing himself. Oh!
Every time. Painful.
Let's just talk about wrestling this week. Now, I am going to preface this by saying we all discussed this. Wrestling was pretty good this week. There wasn't a whole bunch of stuff that stuck out and was like, wow, this is awful, change the channel. So we're going to nitpick a little bit this week. I think I personally could have probably chosen 3 things as a really good segment, and I had to kind of search for things that I didn't like. So it's good. For me, though, I personally we've talked about it before. Sasha Banks and Bayley, this whole thing they have going on, and the amount of times that Michael Cole said, they're looking better than ever. They've made up and they're better than ever. Please stop.
Yeah.
It's stupid. I don't like the storyline. Not many people do. Everyone just wants them to kill each other. And this is probably building to something at WrestleMania. Garrett has his own theories about maybe this is leading to the tag division, and I guess it's possible, but you already have ready-made people for the tag division if you want to. You could totally run Alexa Bliss and Mickie James or the Iconics or something. Like, there are other groups that you can do, and then maybe bring Bayley and Sasha together after, but let them beat each other up already. There's no reason not to. Charlie?
All right, so, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, SmackDown as a whole has just been so good, and I think this week is as consistent of a wrestling show as you could want. 2 hours is perfect amount of time. But that being said, I am going to pick my worst from SmackDown still, and it's just more of a booking decision, and that's Charlotte being added to the triple threat at SummerSlam. Definitely wanted it to be a 1v1. I don't know. If they play it off right, this could lead into something pretty good with Charlotte and Becky. But, yeah, I mean, if you got to nitpick and, you know, Garriet, yeah.
I mean, I know what you mean, because doesn't it feel like they've been building up Becky Lynch? Like, literally, she's, like, undefeated on TV.
Yeah.
Beginning of the year. They've been building her up as this feel-good story, and it would have been such a good story for her to go over at SummerSlam. Everyone expected it, and now it's like, oh, we can't have that. Like, Charlotte has to show up and get the title because she's Charlotte.
Yeah, it's really interesting because nepotism's always kind of been a problem in the background since, you know, all the wrestlers had kids from the last generation because they weren't like the previous generation. And a lot of them died before they would have kids, you know what I mean? Or at least before they'd want to. So, yeah, it's becoming kind of a problem now, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Garrett, what else was a problem?
So we have the weirdest feud ever happening right now on only TV between the Titus Worldwide and the Authors of Pain. Because, you know, you always need a TV tag team feud, right? So you have that going on. And then you have a singles match, which we not really seen a whole lot of from the Authors of Pain over in NXT because it wasn't really their style. You had Akam versus Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews, who has had no momentum over like basically his entire WWE at this point. And then have him go over Akam, who is supposed to be this super badass, and they keep taking losses to this team that everybody knows is a joke, and it's like, I don't know what they're gonna do here. Doesn't really make sense to me.
And I remember seeing somewhere this was Akam's first singles match since like 2016. Like he doesn't wrestle singles matches, and I hate this trial by fire thing. Like with WWE, the writers just have this one-size-fits-all plan for everybody, and they ask them to go do it. Like with Asuka, she should not be trying to cut promos. She's just screaming into the mic, and she doesn't speak good English, and you shouldn't expect her to. But she doesn't need to talk. Akam doesn't need to wrestle singles matches. Neither of these guys do, except the writers are like, oh, we have nothing for them as tag team, so let's just do our standard thing, and we'll have Akam face Titus, and next week we'll have Razor face Apollo Crews. That way we can kill 2 weeks. And then Authors of Pain will jump them in the back, and then we'll go into SummerSlam, and Titus and they better not win. But, you know, like that's kind of how it is, and I hate this paint-by-numbers approach, especially since Akam, like, he was an Olympic weightlifter or wrestler, actually, I think. Weightlifter, yeah. And left amateur wrestling as well. So I don't know. He's such a good athlete, and this just made him look bad. Akam is not good in the ring as a single star. To me, he looked lost, and I don't know. It's just weird. Charlie, what'd you really like though? What was your first class segment of the week?
God, so many things to pick from, but I'm gonna go. Daniel Bryan calls out the Miz, saying he wants a SummerSlam match. Just the, I don't know, just this promo felt so good. It felt so enjoyable to watch, and we all know that this program, it could be one of those programs where it, you know, they have a match at SummerSlam and then they come back to it later for the title at Mania. So we've seen them do that before, where they do a match and then, I mean, they're doing it right now with Johnny and Ciampa, and they'll come back later and have the title involved.
Mm-hmm.
So,
just always be in the rivalry. It's great.
Infinite.
Garrett, what'd you like?
So we had the first match since the Bar's return it was a tag team tournament match between the Bar and the Usos. This probably actually wasn't their first match since this was a tournament match. But anyway, we had a match between the Usos and the Bar, and it was a really, really good match. Tag team wrestling is probably, like, honestly the hottest wrestling in the world at this point, because there's just so much you can do in a tag team match. And, like, the difference is in a singles match, you kind of have to build and then lull for a bit, and then build and then lull for a bit, especially when there's commercials involved. So, you know, like the thing about tag team wrestling is you can have a match going on. That's where they like to stick these kind of segment matches on SmackDown, where they have the, you know, the picture in picture. So you can have basically like 3.5 to 4 star match going on just SmackDown, because they decide they want to have a tag match, because that's where all the good tag teams are right now, I guess. You know, like, so yeah, I really enjoyed it this week. Sheamus and Cesaro look awesome since coming back, so I'm excited to see who comes out on top next week. It's probably going to be the New Day, but, you know, it would be really awesome to see the Bar get in there, you know?
I agree. And for me, I think Elias is entertaining as hell, and it's funny because on Bleacher Report, I think this was rated as the worst thing of the show on Bleacher Report, was Elias and Bobby Lashley together, and it did get a little cheesy at the end. I'll agree. Okay. Let's just listen. Actually, you know what? We can screen share. Go ahead. What are they gonna do? Demonetize us, bro?
yeah, exactly. The monetization we don't even have.
Oh, let me turn up the sound here.
It is that WWE stands for. I said WWE stands for.
That is amazing. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, literally, and I know it's loud all the time, but even before that, he's like, I beat out Taylor Swift. Can I get an amen? And it was loud. Amen. Just, it is so over. And yet, he's able to do this with the crowd.
I wrote a song about the whole thing. So right now,
He's still able to get drowned out by boos later on. See, he's a heel that people like to hate, which is the perfect kind of heel. They're behind his chant, his Walk with Elias chant, but he's still a heel. People still want to boo him. People still boo him during his matches, and that's exactly what you want. It's kind of like Chris Jericho when he had his whole gimmick with the best in the world at what he does, and he came out in the suit, and he was just snickering all the time. That people loved how entertaining he was, but he was so great to hate.
Yeah.
The man got a list over.
He did. And I mean, that was before the list. I like Jericho pre-list.
It.
Exactly. And then Lashley came out and sang, and I loved it. And it wasn't good at all. I hope the next week the justification for Elias beating up Lashley isn't, well, Lashley was a better singer than Elias, and so Elias was jealous of his musical talent. I know that that's what they're going to do.
I'm not opposed to that.
And so I'm just going to shut it off, but
Canceling the stream.
all right, let's talk some stuff outside of wrestling. Charlie and I made a trip today. Something that you guys may or may not know is that I enjoy collecting football cards. And it's something I've got a couple things over there. I'm not going to show you my whole book because there's a bunch of stuff from when I was a kid. I got my dad's baseball cards as well that I need to file through. So I took some out to show the stream a little bit. Maybe we'll do this on like a live Big Brother episode 2 when I'm trying to kill time one of these live evictions. All right. So if you don't know about football cards, so basically some people buy them more as collectibles and you try to resell them at a higher value in 10, 20 years. Some people, it's more you just kind of like to look at them, so you're fine with getting regular old any card. And when I was a kid, that's how it was. If I pulled out a card and it was a Patriots player, I told Charlie, like, when I was a kid, like Ben Watson, when he first came into the league as the Patriots, he's like my favorite player. He's tight end. So if I would have pulled any normal Ben Watson card that's worth a cent, like a penny, then I would have been stoked. I would have been like, yes, Ben Watson, oh my God, he's the best. But now it's more like I want to try to get some rare stuff. So the things you're looking for jersey cards are kind of like the base. Like if you can get a jersey card, it adds some value. And then you have autograph cards, which are even more value. And then you have rookie cards, which pretty much these days, if you get a rookie card and it is an autograph or a jersey card, it's worth quite a bit of money. So to start, I'll talk about some cards that I've had for a while. So first we got the Ben Roethlisberger rookie jersey card. Hopefully it has all that stuff. So that's nice. And if you look on the back, it's got a number on the back. It says out of 750. So that means 750 of these cards were made, and I have number 266 somewhere right in the middle. We got a Peyton Manning jersey card. This is number 196 out of 250. Garrett likes that one because he's a Colts fan.
Go.
We got a Randy Moss Vikings jersey. It is not a rookie card, sadly, but still, nice card nonetheless. Isaac Bruce. He was my favorite player when I was a kid. I was a big Rams fan, and then the Patriots faced him in the Super Bowl, so I couldn't like him anymore. Then we have a couple cards that today I brought to the card shop, and they were very interested in buying. Both are Tom Brady rookie cards. This one I remember pulling out of a deck, and this one I specifically remember buying with my allowance money. So this is right after Tom Brady was drafted. He's in his Michigan gear. And today at the card shop, they were saying this card probably worth about $250. So I could go on eBay, probably sell this for $250, but, you know, he's my favorite player. I need to keep him. Speaking of Patriots, no longer a Patriot, which I'm angry about. Jimmy Garoppolo. I think Charlie was with me when I bought this, last year or something? We went to another card shop.
Yeah.
I had to buy this card. I bought it for like $20. I think it's going to be great one day. All right. So now let's get into some either rookies or recent rookies. Landon Collins, perennial Pro Bowler, autograph rookie card. That is going to be worth a lot of money someday, I think. I already think he's a top 5 safety in the NFL. Many people do. We've got Trey Quinn, who Charlie told me is he was Mr. Irrelevant, this past draft class?
Yeah, this year. He's a rookie right now.
This year. He's a rookie. What team did he get drafted by? Redskins, dude. Like it. And then we've got cards that I just bought today. A card that is not going to be worth a lot of money, but Charlie likes this card. Ohio State's own JT Barrett.
Stud.
Currently a 4th-string quarterback on the Saints. He'll probably get cut, but who knows? He might get picked up by a team that ends up with an injury. Then Braxton Berrios. He got drafted by my team, the Patriots, and he's a little short, white wide receiver, so he's probably going to be great, let's be honest. That's what they do. Then the 3 big ones. Dante Pettis. So this one's kind of like a special edition card. If you notice, the other ones were kind of silver. And anytime that has some sort of color on it, it's going to be worth a little more. And a lot of people think that he's going to be very good. And then we have this Kerryon Johnson, who UCF had to play in the bowl game. This card, he's already listed as the starter for the Detroit Lions this year. And if you look on the back of the card, it says 4 out of 5. If it will adjust. 4 out of 5, so there are only 5 of these cards made. And then probably the coolest card I've ever gotten. Definitely the coolest card I've ever gotten. This is going to show up as right side for you guys. If you noticed, all of the other cards have been probably backwards because the camera inverts everything. But this is a Vita Vea print card. So it's a print used plate. So what they did was they used this card to make all of the other cards and then had Vita Vea sign it. He was the number 12 pick by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if you look on the back right here, whenever it wants to, come on, focus. You can do it, camera. It doesn't want to get that manual. Whatever. It says 1 out of 1. So this is only one ever made of these because this is what was used to make the other cards in the shop. Cool. Yeah. So I'm excited for that. I like football cards. If you ever want to talk to me about cards, they're cool. I got another box of what?
Quick aside, so Matthew Stafford's playing backup this year?
No.
Carry Johnson's a running back.
Oh, see, this is how little I know about football.
It has Carey in his name. If you remember that, then you can remember.
Okay, that's true.
Okay, anything else you guys wanted to touch on this week? I feel like I just talked for a while.
It's good week of wrestling.
Let me think. Was there anything in wrestling that I want to talk about that we haven't talked about? I feel like there was some indie news that oh, you know what we never hit on in the news section?
Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
Matt Riddle officially signed with WWE. We saw some rumors going around last week that he was headed to the WWE because he pulled out of All In. And they're not All In, sorry. BOLA, Battle of Los Angeles for PWG. It has been released that he's expected. The quote that I saw was he's expected to be in Brooklyn on SummerSlam weekend.
Ooh.
What if he doesn't show up at NXT? What if he shows up at SummerSlam?
What if
be awesome?
What if he does the
justify?
Bro,
dude, if Brock's about to go fight with that title around his waist, like they keep saying he's going to, they could do that and have Riddle come in and be that guy for a bit, you know?
What if Elias is playing a song and Riddle jumps the barricade and kicks his ass?
That'd be down.
So cool.
It's not going to happen. They're probably going to do the thing that they've been doing where they show Matt Riddle in the crowd, people cheer for him, and then he'll start.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
But
now in the G1, the leaders of each block are Tanahashi and Kenny Omega. So
no surprises there.
Everyone's thinking Ibushi. That was the pick to win it all. So let's see what happens. But because the winner is main events of Wrestle Kingdom. So
Ibushi deserves it. He's been there for a while and he's great.
Mm-hmm.
I love that Coda.
And he'd be facing Kenny. So
yeah, exactly.
Dude, that'd be for the title, right?
And then the other big thing that I wanted to touch on, Conor McGregor is back. He's officially fighting at UFC 229. That's going to be on October 6th. I'm definitely going because it's the fight that, like, the Mayweather thing was cool and the Diaz fights were cool, but the fight that most people, hardcore UFC fans, have wanted to see, there's a young guy by the name of Khabib Nurmagomedov. Quite a name. So that's why most people just say Khabib. They've wanted this McGregor-Khabib fight for a long time. Khabib's been knocking people out left and right. He's one of the most skilled fighters in years. Very charismatic. And we finally get to see that. So it's going to be Conor McGregor, Khabib Nurmagomedov, UFC 229 October 6th. Hell, I might do a post show for that. They haven't announced the rest of the card yet, but it really doesn't matter what else is on the rest of that card.
Yeah.
Because that fight with Conor McGregor is going to draw so many eyes. It's going to be great.
Calling it now, there's going to be a fight early in the card that doesn't steal the show, obviously, because that fight's just going to be phenomenal, but there's going to be another good fight on that show.
Yeah, usually with, like, marquee fights like that, they usually put a lot of young people in there that are just going to go gung-ho. So
best way to do it.
Hell yeah, dude. That's what I look forward to.
Put some heavyweights on there, man. They'll beat
do it.
Just do it. Maybe we'll see Lashley and Lesnar, bro.
Dude, would you watch that fight, actually? Lashley
and Lesnar? I think Lesnar would beat the absolute crap.
He would totally destroy him, right?
Out of Lashley. Lashley is formidable. But he was fighting a lot of lesser.
All right, but here's the deal. Would you watch the fight if they're both allowed to juice beforehand?
Ooh.
Yes. Just all roided up.
All right, here's the scenario. They're both allowed to juice before the fight.
Oh, yeah.
It's in Bellator.
I'm ready. I'd do it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Charlie, 80 seconds.
All right. Let me pull up the timer.
Dude. Dead air.
Doing
All
it. All right, let's fill this dead air with a little bit of talking.
2, 1.
People do not want Roman Reigns to be in this match, especially one-on-one on SummerSlam. He kicked off Raw. We had a lot of boos, but later in the night we saw that it kind of turned around. It looks like we got a little tease from Paul Heyman. He might turn on Brock Lesnar. The whole storyline was Lesnar is not Paul Heyman's friend, and Lesnar's healing the crowd big time. Lesnar's kind of on his way out of the company. That's the way it seems. And I mean, he's got to get ready for a fight. Finn Balor and Corbin have been having matches. It's fine. I mean, they're both fine. This is a fine feud. I'm just not crazy about it. Ronda Rousey is maybe the biggest star in the company right now. She's amazing. Like, anytime she's anywhere, there's a buzz. Strowman and Mahal have been putting on good stuff, which is weird, but great. Rollins and McIntyre had a match. It's still great. The Leaders of Worlds have been good. Bray Wyatt's been putting in good work to cover for Matt Hardy's slowness, I guess it would be. And the Revival are always great.
1 minute.
1 minute remaining on the... we already talked about Charlotte and Becky and Carmella. I think we can agree on that triple threat. There's no way Carmella's walking out or should walk out with that title in SummerSlam. Please, dear God, don't let that happen. I'd rather have Charlotte. AJ Styles and Samoa Joe is going to... Wow. That was loud.
What was it?
And Jeff Hardy should stop cutting promos, but Orton was great. All right. So that'll do for this week. I'm going to see if I can convince Charlie to play some Overwatch. And who knows, we might be going live a little bit on some Big Brother news. But, yeah. Madden beta's out. Go buy EA Access for $5 and go play Madden, people. It's going to be a good time. I'm going to organize my cards, play some Overwatch, get ready for work on Monday. I'm tired.
Fact.
Later.
Later, Gator.
I'm not here right now.